What up guys, One Fit Bruja here, and I am finally back to make that Q&A that I was supposed to make when I hit 500 subscribers, and now it's been a few weeks and things have changed since then, but I'm doing the Q&A for the 500 subscribers that I mentioned in my last video. So thank you very much for subscribing. If you are one of my subscribers, I really appreciate it. And today I'm going to answer some questions that you guys have left for me. I got a good amount of questions. I didn't want this video to be super long, so I narrowed them down to 8 questions. And some of them are funny, some of them are kind of serious, some of them are just there because I felt like they should be there. Before I blubber about things that don't pertain to this Q&A, I'm just going to go ahead and start. First question is, what is your witchy pet peeve? So, what is one of the most annoying things that someone has brought up about witchcraft, I'm supposing is what I'm going to answer here. And I've summed it up to pure ignorance is what pisses me off the most. The most horrible misconceptions about witches and people who practice magic in general is the lack of research and ignorance on the topic. People do not care to do their research at all, and it's one of the most infuriating things, I would have to say, that annoys me the most. They bring up stupid things like, oh, that symbol that you wear all the time is bad. That means you're worshiping the devil, Satan. I mean, if that's something you want to do, and most witches don't even do that. A lot of witches do work with demons, which is fine. I mean, they're deities. All deities will help you in some sort of way. So if that's the kind of path you want to practice, then go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But one of the most misconceptions is if you're a witch, you are working with the devil all the fucking time. It's one of the most annoying things. So people are always automatically scared of you, or they shut you out because they don't want to hear what you have to say, because apparently all those stupid fucking movies that they've been watching have been telling them the truth. And that is not the truth, honey. It is not the truth. It's far from it. So before you think all witches are bad and all witches are out there to curse you, hex you, and manipulate you in some sort of way, maybe you should stop being so damn ignorant and do your research. And then you can get back to me once your mind has been opened and you're willing to receive the information that I have and actually sponge it up and listen to me. Okay? As you can tell, my answer had a lot of attitude in it. So it does piss me off quite a bit. So don't come over here on my channel asking me stupid little things like that before you do your damn research. You can get the hell off my channel, Google the shit, and get back to me. All right, moving on to the next question. Question number 2, how old are you? I'm old enough to drink, son. Cheers, salud. Really good. Try that Elysian space dust. I might get copyrighted for that. I don't know. It's too late. It already happened. I'm actually not barely old enough to drink. I'm 27. I'm actually old. I'm gonna be 30 soon. And I'm a small amount of years, so. 27, guys! Holy crap. Alright. Moving on to question number 3. How long have you been practicing witchcraft? Okay. So I've actually been practicing witchcraft for about, like, physically practicing witchcraft, not just researching and reading and looking for information about different paths and whatnot. I've actually been physically practicing witchcraft for almost 3.5 years now. 3.5 years. I'm thinking it's about 3.5 years now. Yeah. So, not a whole lot of time for physically practicing it, but I'm one of those people who's always researching and always looking for more information. And I've been researching ever since I was a little baby bruja. So I've been researching for a long time. I've always been intrigued by magic and things that you can't see with the human eye. I'm always constantly going towards that path ever since I was little, and I didn't even know I was a little bruja yet, but that's just how I was, and apparently that was just the path I was meant meant to live. So here I am. I couldn't escape it. It found me sooner or later. So this is what I'm doing. All right, question number 4. I'd love to hear about your vegan journey and if there's a connection with being vegan and your craft. Alrighty then. So, at first, there was not any connection with veganism and my craft, but I was actually vegetarian before I was vegan. I was vegetarian up about, how old was I when I stopped being vegetarian and made the switch? It's time to do some math. You guys can see my not so strong suit. Adding things up right now. Okay, so I started out, I was vegan for about 2 years. I started out, but I wasn't making any money at the time. I was 18, and the people I was living with didn't really support my needs, which I don't, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I wasn't their daughter or anything, so I was living with my my husband's parents at the time, and it was not the easiest to eat vegan. His family didn't care about any of that stuff. So I didn't have much money at the time, but I did it with what I could rummage up, and I did that for 2 years. I was not the healthiest vegan. I actually had some problems because I was not consuming enough micronutrients, and also my macros weren't exactly where they were supposed to be, especially for the amount of exercise that I used to do back then. I used to overdo a lot of exercise back then because I was struggling with an eating disorder for quite a long period of time. Being vegan right then probably did not help me with that, I'm not even gonna lie, because it was a restrictive control sort of diet. But to be honest with you, being vegan is not restrictive at all, but the kinds of foods that I had to eat had to be easily accessible and easy to make. So it's just mainly just like vegetables like carrots, grape tomatoes, canned beans, things that you couldn't really cook. It was just something you could throw together really quick and make some sort of like cold salad thing with. So I would either have to triple the amount volume of food that I had in order to make up for the deficit that I was missing. But at that time, I didn't really care. My mind was sick, so I didn't really benefit as much from it. And up till now, I benefit greatly from it now because I'm doing it right this time. But then it was not so good. My mindset couldn't handle that right then. So that probably wasn't the best decision, but if I had the mindset and the financial stability to keep it going back then, I probably would still be vegan up all the way until this point. I would have never changed, honestly. I don't see me going back ever. So, but that only lasted for 2 years, so 18, 19. By the time I hit 20, I went back to being a vegetarian, and about 2.5, 3 years ago, I decided I was gonna go vegan because I was having stomach problems and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I went to the doctors for it even. That's not something I would normally do because I believe you are what you eat. So whatever you're putting in your body is going to catch up with you eventually. That's my honest belief. Any sort of inflammation problems that you have is caused by your lifestyle and the food that you eat. So make sure you think twice about how much junk you're consuming, how much dairy you're consuming, how much of everything you are eating is causing you problems. How physically active you are will also play a big part in this because your body has to use up that food. So it has to use up all that food that you're eating in some sort of way. If it just sits there, it's going to cause you more problems, especially if you're consuming like a high fat diet, a high protein, or super high carbohydrates for some reason. Everybody has their own little diet phase that they're following, so you just have to make sure that you're training and your body is actually happy with it. Okay? Make sure your body is happy with it. Listen, your body will show you signs. You'll have skin problems. You'll have bad acne. You will feel super tired. Just pay attention to your body. Your body knows best, and then change accordingly. That's the best way to figure it out, in my opinion. And I've been talking about this subject for almost 6 minutes, and I haven't even really answered your question yet. I go off on little tangents, I'm so sorry. Obviously, I have a lot to say about the subject. I was having really bad stomach problems, so that's why I made the switch to being vegan. I have no stomach problems anymore, none whatsoever. It was actually the dairy that was causing me really bad inflammation within my stomach lining, and I didn't know what to do about it, and I kept consuming more dairy products, thinking the probiotics within the dairy products would help my stomach, and they did not. They make them worse because they do not naturally occur. They put them in there, and the dairy is really bad for your body. It causes a great deal of inflammation, okay? So the dairy is bad. So I would highly suggest cutting out those dairy products, if anything. If anything, cut out the dairy products. You don't need it. There's plenty of great dairy substitutes that taste phenomenal. You don't need the stuff, guys, you don't need it. And you won't miss it. Just stick to it long enough to the point of where your taste buds will change, your body will change, and you'll feel good. You won't want to go back. So that's just my opinion. And of course, once I've stayed vegan for more than a year, I have also caught on to the fact that a lot of things that we use on the daily, like hand soap, facial products, makeup, deodorant, everything, anything that goes on your body is usually tested on animals. And I don't know about you, but I like animals a whole lot better than I like people. I say about 90% of the time. I'm not gonna lie. There's very few people that I can actually get along with that actually mesh with me. That mesh with me a great deal. They're gonna put up with my super strong opinions sometimes and not get mad at me and want to be like, bye bitch, you're fucking annoying. But I can't blame them. I have a very strong personality sometimes for some people, so I love my little animals. They put up with me, and I appreciate that. And I do not want anything bad to happen to them. So I stopped using everything that tests on animals. I changed out my perfume, my makeup products. I only get cruelty-free vegan if I can. But if it's cruelty-free, it's something I will get. I just make sure there's no honey or any sort of milk, dairy product in there whatsoever. Nothing of the sort. So as far as my craft though, I still have some wax candles that I use. I am working on switching most of my stuff over to a soy-based wax instead of beeswax. I do have a lot of wax candles that I have on hand right now that I will use because I do not like wasting things. If it's already happened and I have them, I'm not gonna waste them. So if someone gives me something that is not cruelty-free, I will still accept it, but I will tell them next time, hey, I don't want that because it has animal byproducts in it, or, you know, they test on animals. So I'll make that known so they don't just do the same mistake twice, but I'm not gonna be an asshole and be like, hey, I'm not gonna use this at all now because, you know. So I'm gonna use what I have, obviously, and then I'm gonna move on to make better switches for my craft. Yeah. But as far as actual witchcraft, I do not use any animal bones or anything like that. If they were gifted to me once again, and I would make sure that the animal did not die in a way that was traumatizing. I do not need that sort of energy floating around on my altar space or any of my workings. So I want to make that very clear if that was to happen. I do use like seashells, clam shells that are already gone, that have already died, so I do reuse those in my craft. So like these sorts of shells at the beach, if I find them there, I will take them home. I will fill them with wax and make some sort of healing candle, and then I can bring it back to the beach next time and I can do a small spell or ritual there with healing candles I made, because the ocean just has a lot of healing energy, so I like to have little things like that from the beach, and I will incorporate them into my craft. And yeah, so those are the only sort of animal things that I use. Besides my cat, sometimes they lose their whiskers around my apartment, and I'll find them. I don't just go up to my cat and rip a whisker out or anything like that. I'm not a monster, guys. Not like that. So I will use their whiskers and like some sort of spell bottle or whatnot. I use their energy, call upon Bastet or any sort of deity that works closely with that animal, bless it, and use it in my craft. But other than that, I do not purposely use any sort of animal parts in my craft because I do not like doing that. For the evil eye, like for the evil eye, one of the old traditional ways to cleanse yourself, traditional Mexican way, is to take an egg and run it across your body to absorb all the negative energy that has been attached to you. I don't use that method, but that method is supposedly one of the strongest ones that you can use, where it's been let go for such a long time that sometimes you have to find different ways to get that energy extracted from your body, and you may have to repeat the same thing over and over again until that energy is finally all the way absorbed from your vessel. But that is one of the ways, the old traditional Hispanic way to do that. And it's also used in hoodoo. That's just one of those ways. I don't use that way because I don't use animal products in my craft. So I guess that's another example right there of me not using animal products in that sort of way. That's how that came about, and that was like probably going to be one of the longest questions that I'm going to ramble about. It was a good question. No, I like that question. But yeah, now you know. All right, guys, I'm gonna move on to question number 5. All right, so question number 5 doesn't even really sound like it was a serious sort of question. It's more or less someone was kind of messing with me with this question, but I thought it was interesting enough to say out loud. So, can you put me under mind control? Well, if that's something you're into, I'll let you know a few different ways that a witch bitch can. We can infiltrate your dreams. We can manipulate you, yes. But as far as placing you under complete mind control, like a puppet, jump when I say jump, that's not completely possible. We can manipulate the way you think. We can manipulate your future. We can manipulate a lot of things, but we cannot tell you how to act a certain way all the time, speak through you. We can definitely change your mind about things. We can be extremely manipulative in that sense if we want to be. I cannot control you like a puppeteer. I can't. You're not a... I mean, no. That's not completely possible. But for the most part, we can. We can make you change your mind. We can make you go do things you wouldn't normally think about doing. There are spells and certain types of magics that we can perform to make those certain things happen. Infiltrate your dreams. That would be more on the necromantic sort of side, necromancy. We can do certain things like that, but you will not be under complete mind control. I can't make you do anything that you do not yourself want to do. So hopefully that answers your question, if you were actually serious about it or not. But there you go. Number 6. Can you post more weight loss magic? Yes, I can. I can totally do that. I've had a couple people ask me about the same thing, and yes, I can totally post more weight loss magic. If you want a weight loss spell, I can do a specific spell that I have done before, and it worked for me, so I can post that for you. I can do more weight loss food magic too, if you guys would like. I can do a mixture of both to support the spell work and also the kitchen magic portion, and we can create our own little witchy diet plan, little magical weight loss book sort of thing. That'd be really cool, actually. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That'd be super cool. I would definitely buy that. I don't know about you guys, but if I saw like a magic kitchen witchery diet plan that had actual like workings and spell work in there to follow with the diet plan, that would be so legit. And it would be vegan, of course. Guys, it's a golden idea. It's a golden idea. So if anybody wants to do it, I mean, maybe I should do it. That would be so cool. I would buy that book in a heartbeat. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a legit idea. All right, But yes, I can definitely post. See, look at me, already getting off track. My mind's like thinking about all sorts of stuff. I think it's this whole Lionsgate energy thing going on. My mind is like all creative and ready to go for some reason. So even though the peak day was yesterday, but still going on for me, I guess. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next question. Question number 7, which doesn't seem like a, you know, a heartful question here. Are you a real witch? This should be like in the pet peeve question. Are you a real witch? I mean, I would like to believe so. I would like to say I am. I'm a real witch. I mean, I don't really know what you want me to say there. But to my knowledge, I'm a real witch. I hope that is good enough for you. And I'm gonna move on to the last question. Question number 8. This one was actually asked a while ago, and I did answer this person back, but I felt like if someone else was in this situation, the answer that I gave, or her question in general, would be good to know on how to discard of this sort of gift item that has bad energy attached to it. So I'm just gonna read it real quick before I start blabbering about it. So, how should I get rid of a gift that is possibly connected to the evil eye or has ill intent or bad energy attached to the item? So, I did answer this back a while ago, but if it's something that can be easily wrapped up within a black cloth or can be put in some sort of black box, and you can directly bind the energy to that object that is giving you that energy within the cloth or within the box, and then I would tie it up with string and just perform a binding spell or ritual so that energy cannot escape it. And I say put this in a black cloth or in a black box because black will absorb the energy. It will keep the energy within that area and it won't go anywhere else. And also repels any other energies that are trying to get inside of it. So that bad juju will stop right then and there inside the black cloth, inside the black box, whichever one you prefer to choose to use. So I would do it like that, bind the energy to the item so it cannot affect you anymore. And some people would proceed to go bury this somewhere that is not close to them whatsoever. If you do that, you to choose to bury it somewhere, I would say I wouldn't bury it somewhere. I would prefer to just bind the thing within the cloth or the box, tie it up so it can't go anywhere, perform the magics, and of course, if you haven't already tried, you should cleanse this. If you can get the energy off that way, I would cleanse it. You know, use some salt, some cedar or palo santo, maybe both together. You might need the strongest combination you can get. And I would proceed to do the following that I just mentioned after you've cleansed it. And I would discard it into the trash, and I would take the trash out. You don't want it to sit in your home any longer. It would be nice if you could get the energy off just by cleansing it and then repurpose the item, but that can be kind of risky. You can transfer bad energy onto other people, so I wouldn't want to do that. But it's a shame. It's a shame that it's gonna go to waste because this person's intent was so clearly not in a positive way, even though they were trying to say they were sorry. So that's a crappy situation. I'm sorry that your coworker is a little two-faced. That's not cool. It's never a good situation, and I understand that. But that is what I would do. I'd probably dispose of it in my trash and then proceed to take my garbage out so it's no longer inside my home. Hopefully that answer was clear. I sounded a little rambly. I heard it myself. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I don't know where the rambles came from. I was trying to give you a straight shot answer, and then it just blah, 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 blah. That's what happened. But yeah. Alright, so I have answered all 8 questions, guys. And until next time, I will get some weight loss magic up sooner or later. I promise. I don't forget. I just get short on time. So Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A, and of course if you have any more questions for me, you can email me at onefitbruja@outlook.com. I do have it linked on my channel, so go ahead and click on that if you have questions that you do not want to leave in the comments or on my Instagram or on Pagan and Witches AMINO, and I will go ahead and answer them there. And until next time, I will see all you lovely little brujitas later.